Welcome to People and Power. I'm Shireen Al-Feki. In today's program, a twist in the tale. We investigate how Sri Lanka's Tamil tigers are taking their battle to Britain. Sri Lanka is a bruised and battered country, blasted by the 2004 tsunami and torn apart by almost 25 years of civil war between the country's Sinhalese majority and its Tamil minority. The main rebel group, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, or Tamil Tigers as they're better known, wants independence for the country's Tamil regions. Now, the civil war in Sri Lanka has already cost more than 60,000 lives. A 2002 ceasefire agreement between the government and the Tamil Tigers has essentially collapsed. Over the past year, the war has taken a new and deadly turn. The government has made significant gains in tiger-held territory, and now the rebels are fighting back. Their efforts are funded in part by the thousands of Sri Lankans who have fled the country. But some of these donations are far from voluntary. The Tigers are increasingly accused of using threats to extort money abroad to pay for their violent insurgency at home. People in Power's Juliana Ruhfus investigates the Tamil Tigers' financial front line in Britain.
Today is Heroes' Day for many of the Tamils of Sri Lanka. It commemorates the death of the first Tamil tiger fighter to be killed in 1982, and of all those who have died since in Sri Lanka's vicious civil war. Today, some of the Tamils of North London have come to Harrow Leisure Centre to mourn and remember.
Who are you supporting?
LTT.
LTT.
We want freedom.
Do you think everybody here supports the LTT?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's always
Yes, everybody?
We are respecting our heroes.
Yeah.
It's heroes' days.
We are here because there have been recent allegations of intimidation of Tamils by representatives of the Tigers organizations. Can we film inside?
I won't be able to discuss anything with you without any permission.
Parts of the UK's 150,000 strong Tamil community appear increasingly wary towards non-Tamil media. In 2001, the British government labelled the Tamil Tigers, officially known as the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, or LTTE, as a terrorist group and banned them. Other countries have also done so. But now the UK has made even glorification of such groups a criminal offence. Everyone here could be breaking the law.
But I think it's very unfair. I think as long as none of the rules of the land is not broken, people should have the freedom to express their views and speak openly. Where is our freedom of speech? Go on.
Because of the ban, this year the organisers of Heroes' Day, the British Tamil Association, have had problems getting access to the largest London venues they used in the past. The BTA organisers deny any connection to the Tigers, but inside a speech by the LTTE leader, Villupillai Prabhakaran, will be broadcast live.
I love my leader. I don't care for money. That's only my love for my leader. That's it.
And how much do you give every month?
I mean, hang up on something like that.
For the last year, there's been a fundraising drive by the LTTE for what's being called a final war with Sri Lanka. A recent Human Rights Watch report alleges various degrees of intimidation of British Tamils to make them donate to that cause.
The war in Sri Lanka was started by discrimination from the majority Buddhist government towards the Hindu Tamil minority after independence from Britain in 1948. As many as 70,000 people have died in the fighting, and both sides are accused of numerous atrocities. Today, in his Heroes' Day broadcast from Tiger-governed northern Sri Lanka, the leader Prabhakaran blames the Sri Lankan government for the failure of peace talks and finally declares them over. The war is set to escalate. Of all the people we spoke to who said they'd been intimidated by LTT fundraisers, most were too scared to go on record. This shopkeeper was the only one who agreed to appear on camera.
The day they came to your shop,
yeah.
What happened? What did they ask you for? What took place?
Yeah, he come on the shop, he read one of the file in your hand. He come ask, our collector, our come from LTT, Tamil and the Vidala Puliyal. What's the problem? Now I want the money, every shop people give the money. You know, give you any one penny, you give the £50,000. I said, no, He said, you remortgage your house, you give the money back. I said, no.
And they threatened you?
Yeah, he phoned 3-4 times. I want to kill you.
Such threats to Tamils abroad or their more vulnerable relatives in Sri Lanka seem to have created a culture of fear amongst dissenters to the LTTE. This man has had repeated visits from fundraisers. He was afraid to show even the color of his wallpaper in case he could be identified.
They said, we are from the LTTE, you have to give us money. I was very scared to talk to them. They said this is the final war. They have to buy anti-aircraft missiles. Many people won't speak out because they don't know to what extent the British police will take action. The LTTE will take revenge either in Sri Lanka or here. There is even a possibility of being murdered because they have committed murders in Europe.
Despite the intimidation, one effect of the UK government ban seems to have been to encourage dissenters to come forward.
Diaspora is the big bang for the LTTE. The recent fundraising drive started in November 2005. It was the biggest fundraising drive. The agenda, of course, final war, fundraising for the final war. And the money extracted from people, I know people who have given £2,000, I know people who have given £100,000.
Rajasingham Jayadevan is an accountant and a former member of the LTTE. He used to raise funds for them through contributions made to the Hindu temple he manages in Wembley in northwest London. He was also a director for the Tamil Housing Association. When the UK ban was passed, he took decisions which set him on a collision course with the Tiger leadership.
In 2001, when the Terrorism Act was passed, I knew in the Tamil Housing Association there are chaps who were collecting funds. And when I go for police meeting, the police complaint they say about fundraising activities of the LTT, they are very concerned about it. So I sent a memorandum to all the staff asking them to abide by the 2001 Act. They shouldn't get involved in the fundraising activities representing the housing association in any way. And I faced considerable problem as a result of that memo.
Nevertheless, Jayadevan wanted to challenge the ban in the courts. He says he came under heavy pressure from the Tigers to drop the matter.
And they said, oh, we don't care about the proscription. As far as we are concerned, we know how to effectively manage the Tamil people in the UK. We take control of every Tamil organizations in the UK. And once we have control of those organizations, you see, we don't have to worry about the proscription or anything.
In the end, Jayadevan flew to Sri Lanka to put his case to the LTTE leadership. They ended up demanding control of his temple and the income it generated.
The LTTE officials came to us and they insisted the temple should be transferred to one of the appointees. They took us to a compound. They said we had to be detained for 7 days for investigation. I was for 62 days.
Why did you not just leave?
I couldn't leave because I was surrounded.
But what would have happened if you would have tried
If
to
I
leave?
didn't do it, they would have killed me.
Jayadevan signed the papers to transfer the temple, not believing they would stand up in a British court. They didn't. Deeply disillusioned with the LTTE, he is now chairman of the UK's Tamil Democratic Congress, which is trying to offer an alternative voice to that of the Tigers. In response, a campaign has been launched against him outside the temple. It accuses him of embezzling donations that are meant for charitable purposes.
Mr. Jayadevan is spending his money for his own purpose, not for the other purpose, not for charity or anything else.
All the money going to be his family.
Jayadevan claims the protest is simply an LTTE attempt to discredit him.
I was accused of financial fraud. I was accused of womanizing. I have been accused of alcoholic. And also my family and children were targeted. Even today, I received calls, anonymous calls, threatening calls. It is ongoing continuously. They continuously harass me and hound me.
Was that you?
That's me. That is me. They know how to doctor pictures, you see. Very childish. Right? You can see the telephone number of Rajan. He's the one who threw the fried chicken oil into the temple and also threw eggs at the temple and finally he was warned by the police.
Yet Rajan claims that it is Jayadevan's supporters who are targeting him.
What happened?
The Jayadevan's, friends are doing, throw the paint. Everyone knows. They break the glass. They break this glass 2 times. They throw the paints and eggs and.
So what is that?
The LTT Rowdy Rajan behind TBC attack. I don't know who. I'm not LTT.
They actually call you the LTT hitman.
Yeah. That is a
Rowdy Rajan. That's how they call you.
Look, if I'm Rowdy Rajan, I have scarf and gun and everything.
However, Rajan is due in court soon for threatening behavior at the Tamil Broadcasting Corporation. The TBC is an independent radio station critical of the Tigers. They've been broken into 3 times in the last 2 years.
Did you witness the break-in, or did you?
No, he just told me about it next door. He said it was broken into again. I thought it.
So how did they get in, do you know?
Van packed up on the roof of the van, apparently.
Oh, really? So they stood on the van and just went in through the window then?
This is not a fence. This is a fence. This is so ne? Die anderen Sachen alles schon weg. Kam schon alles in den Müll. Ja, alles ist draufgehauen. Und alles was hier. Ja, diese Leute möchten nichts mehr weiter, wie es funktioniert, das ist diese No. Weil von dieser Partei früher, es ist genau wie eine Mafia. Diese Partei, ganze Welt sammelt Geld. Aber wir haben von diesem Radio gesagt raus, braucht nichts mehr bezahlen. Dieser Geld macht immer viele Maschinenköder kaufen. Diese Gruppe macht das alles kaputt, unsere Heimat. Bitte Leute, nichts mehr bezahlen.
Join us after the break when we look at Sri Lanka's Tamil community under pressure in Britain.